Reels, available on satellite and cable systems nationwide.
I'm not special. Ain't nothing special about me. That's me. That's my life. I never was an actor either. I have a vision and I'm doing the best I can to execute it. I would never let them know how bad I was hurt. So I just thought, nobody's gonna beat me.
Take your best shot, pal.
And nobody did.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to this very special look at True Justice star and creator Steven Seagal. I'm Viviana Vigil. He's known the world over as an action star, but as I found out during an intimate conversation on the set of the new Reel's original drama, True Justice, actor Steven Seagal is so much more than that. He's a martial arts expert, an accomplished musician, and a philanthropist, a true Renaissance man whose beginnings were both humble and yet destined for bigger things. Steven Seagal is known for being the hard-hitting, shoot-'em-up, kung fu flipping action man at the center of countless movies. But this Hollywood heavy hitter, known for his high-intensity drama, actually lives a Zen lifestyle.
Don't even think about it!
Do you recall your first exposure into Asian culture?
I was probably around 7. I saw a football game with my father. And at the football game, there was a halftime. And during the halftime, they had these Japanese masters come out, one in particular, and do a martial arts demonstration. I saw this little old man throwing people around like they were, feathers. I said to my father after that, I said, "Father, that's what I'm meant to do. That's me. That's my life."
From that moment on, Seagal was determined to leave the life he knew and devote himself to a life he believes he was destined for. So while most teenagers were thinking about high school, Seagal was thinking about a higher calling.
In my teens, I ended up going to Japan to kind of further my interest in mysticism, particularly Zen, Buddhism, the martial arts. It comes from the divine, it comes from God. We're all born with amazing abilities. We're all born with our stars. And those are the stars that are given to us, and those stars are what dictate who we are and what we are. I believe in astrology. I believe in, the influence of the planets on us at birth and through our lives, and so that dictates our personality and how much perseverance, how much drive, how much determination we'll have.
For those who are laymen, you've become a 7th degree black belt in Aikido. What does that mean? How long did that take you?
Well, I had started and was, I don't want to say proficient, but I had been doing Aikido for a long time. And that's what really helped me build a foundation and begin my, journey in learning as many martial arts from as many great masters as I could.
Within just a few years, Seagal had done the near impossible. He had immersed himself in the culture so completely, he became the first foreigner to open a dojo. Seagal was well on his way from being a student to becoming a master.
I would be what's called an uchideshi, which means live in. You go into the dojo and you live there. And there were senior students there who took it on as their job to make sure they could physically hurt me with the martial arts as much as they could so that I would leave. But I was a little too stubborn. And that never happened. And I would never let them know how bad I was hurt, I would somehow get up in the morning full of bruises and cuts and bumps, and it didn't matter. And if I couldn't lift my head straight up, I'd roll over 3 times until I could get up, because sometimes, it was rough. From there, I just got stronger and stronger to the point where it wasn't easy for anybody to beat up on me. It was a mixed gift, the gift of suffering and learning through suffering, and the gift of tremendous adversary in order for me to get the power that I got. So I just thought, nobody's gonna beat me. And nobody did.
Seagal took those lessons and his life experience to Hollywood and turned them into big screen success. Now with over 40 films under his black belt, Seagal has come to reels with the original drama, True Justice.
It's a good thing I'm not angry. Because when I get angry, I do bad things. I wanted to do a cop show that was based on real events that I had experienced in my life, seen in my life. I wanted to try to make it the most realistic cop show that I've ever seen. We wanted to just kind of try to come up with different concepts and dilemmas that, naturally occur in humans, human beings' normal day-to-day life as police officers. Put your hands up. Slowly, quietly, put your hands up.
Seagal knows what he's talking about. He's reserve deputy chief in Louisiana and is a graduate of the police academy in California. There is little that Seagal has not seen or done, and that's what puts the true in True Justice.
It just means that I have a vision and I'm doing the best I can to execute it. And if 80% of what I'm saying or seeing can get up there, it's going to be a more realistic cop show than most of what you're seeing out there. I personally am very happy I'm not a cop anymore.
Cut. Good.
Coming up, we're giving you an inside look at his new drama series, True Justice, which airs next Friday night at 9 p.m. Eastern, 9 p.m. Pacific, right here on Reels. But first, Seagal opens up about his own movies.
In Hollywood, it's full of people who are jealous and small-minded and have their agendas.
That was an exclusive sneak peek of True Justice, the first drama series from Reels. Thank you for joining us for this very special look at Steven Seagal. I'm Viviana Vigil. The success of Steven Seagal is the stuff of Hollywood legend. Being discovered by a super agent and studio executive, he was quite literally handed the career of his choice. But in Hollywood, you're only as good as your box office. And to that end, the investment in Seagal has more than paid off.
God has been kind to me and blessed me that I could get out there and have some successful movies. I'm just a simple country boy trying to put one foot in front of the other.
Yes, he put one foot in front of the other, and before long, Seagal had literally fought his way to the top of the box office with not $1 billion, not $2 billion, but
I think it's more like $3 billion or more, but who's counting?
Seagal's story is the stuff of Hollywood legend. While teaching martial arts to actors Sean Connery and James Coburn in LA, he was discovered by super agent Michael Ovitz. It was Ovitz who put Seagal in front of Warner Brothers. From that meeting, it was clear Seagal was above the law.
So let's talk about your first movie, because a lot of people, they want to be an actor, they want to go. That wasn't your direction. You co-wrote, co-produced, starred in, choreographed your first film. It was a huge box office success. It's unprecedented.
Yeah, it's never been done.
Never been done and never been repeated.
And I never was an actor either.
So how did that happen?
It has to do with preparation, because I was working throughout Asia doing different things. I was doing special security operations and some special guided tours in bad areas and stuff like that. And so I had learned how to act then in order to stay alive. So that helped me.
Seagal may make the fight look easy, but in Tinseltown, it was anything but.
Just like in Asia, every 15 minutes somebody wants to test you. And in Hollywood, it's full of people who are jealous and small-minded and have their agendas.
Come on, that's not striking, officer. That's striking, officer.
You can't always go along with other people's agendas. You have to go along with what you believe in.
The safe house in Trieste. That was your intel, wasn't it? Nerve gas was there, Colonel.
One of Seagal's biggest movies was Executive Decision. Co-star Kurt Russell talks about working with Seagal.
Well, I was really glad that Seagal took the role. He's really perfect for it. It's a John Wayne-esque character.
He's done nearly 40 movies, but a few pack an extra punch with Seagal personally.
I've decided I'm gonna stick around for a while.
I like Fire Down Below a lot because it was a simple movie about simple people with deep concern for their families, their future, and the planet. I am proud of the fact that I'm the only actor that I know of that made 2 major environmental movies, and I think that On Deadly Ground and Fire Down Below have a very important message.
You got a pretty mouth, boy.
And the action, to me, can't be what's driving the story. The story has to drive the action. And we're really trying to make the story first, foremost, and paramount.
Coming up later, Steven Seagal hitting the right chord with audiences.
Well, I may not be a young man, but I've been all around the world.
Up next, Seagal moves from the big screen to your television screen. We'll take a look at the new series True Justice. Don't forget to catch the premiere of True Justice next Friday at 9 p.m. Eastern, 9 p.m. Pacific, only here on Reels, TV about movies.
This is Elijah Kane. Get your hands together and we'll see if we can get him up here.
That was an exclusive clip of True Justice, the first original drama only here on Reels. Welcome back to this special look at Steven Seagal. I'm Viviana Vigil. Thanks to a star and creator with an actual law enforcement background. That's right, Seagal is a cop off the screen. This series promises plenty of action in its pursuit of true justice.
It's an action-packed show like no other.
Now everything you've come to expect from Seagal and his movies is coming to Reels in the original cop drama, True Justice.
Griffin, you got my chair.
Seagal stars as Elijah Kane, the soft-spoken but hard-hitting leader of a hand-picked undercover special force unit.
Don't forget about this kidnapping case.
But in true Seagal fashion, he also created the series and serves as both writer and producer.
What we wanted to do was have a couple of women, a few guys. We wanted to just come up with different kinds of characters that we felt would be interesting in normal day-to-day police work.
The great thing about this whole team is that we're supposed to be a tight-knit group, and we are, and we're supposed to have a paternal relationship with Kane, and kind of do with Steven as well.
Steven's been great. He's been bestowing a lot of knowledge on us all about the way things actually go in the real world on the police force, since he's had so much experience, which has been fantastic. So, things like how to hold your gun, where to wear it, how you would walk.
When Steven comes to set, Steven does what Steven does. There's a soft side to him, but there's also that side that you don't want to mess with him, and he will beat that ass.
The majority of the different series that I've done, there's definitely more of an action element to this.
The cast of True Justice says Seagal fans, you won't be disappointed.
Oh my gosh, I love it. It's been really interesting because we've only just started doing our training, so we're sort of trying to pick everything up as we go along. But the other day I was like running and shooting a gun. Run or get down!
You got like glass breaking, I come out of the door, I get shot. fall to the ground, you know, there's like stuntmen are pulling out. And it was quite exciting to know that, okay, if this is the first one, I can't wait for the second one or the third one. And because people like action.
This isn't your average shoot-'em-up good guy versus bad guy cop show. This is Seagal at his best.
You decide to kind of improv. Is there any improv on set?
I mean, I am the king of improv, if you'll forgive my saying so. I get the essence of what has to be conveyed, and I make sure that that is conveyed, and after that I sort of say it the way I would really say it.
The thing I like about working with Steven is things change a lot around him. A lot of things happen on the fly, and I love working like that. You know, even just for selfish reasons, it forces me to listen, you know, and to respond honestly in the moment. So I think he makes me a better actor when I'm acting with him.
Hey, boss. It's great because Steven will say straight up, no, it's not like that. Cops wouldn't do that, or why he wouldn't say that. So it's great because, you know, I'm constantly learning, and I love to observe, and I love to sit back, and I love to learn. So, and Steven will tell you. He won't hold back.
I just tried to find people that were very, very serious about their craft, very, very devoted to wanting to learn what those people are really like. And I think I got that, you know. I think after this last keeper, we all need a drink. But here's to being a cop, man. Cheers.
Cheers.
Coming up, the man and his music.
This next song is a Louisiana song. It's called Feet.
And don't forget to watch the premiere of True Justice next Friday at 9 p.m. Eastern, 9 p.m. Pacific, only here on Reels. When you think of the name Steven Seagal, you think of contemporaries such as Stallone, Schwarzenegger, and Willis. But would you have ever thought of B.B. King or Stevie Wonder? Turns out, if you did, you'd be hitting all the right notes.
Well, I may not be a young man, but I've been all around the world. Yeah.
Yep, that's Steven Seagal strumming away on the strings and singing a tune. And much like the role of martial arts in his life, his draw to music was not just a talent, but a calling.
You are an incredibly talented musician. When did you decide to pick up a guitar?
Well, I started out playing drums in the 50s, you know, like around 59, 60, something like that, when I was quite young. But by the time I was around 13 or 14, I really wanted to play guitar. My mother bought me a guitar. And it was one of those guitars that had a case, and the case was the amplifier. I learned how to play guitar quite quickly.
You talked a little bit about being exposed to the blues growing up.
My father's family, you know, part of his family are from Texas, so in the summers I would go to Texas and Louisiana, so I had a tremendous indoctrination into the blues and not really country music or anything like that as much as the blues.
With 2 studio albums under his belt and a third on its way, Seagal considers himself fortunate to have met and worked with his idols.
Well, the first thing I noticed, if I got the chance to meet B.B. King would say, "Hello, sir. How nice to meet you." Just a perfect gentleman. And whether it was John Lee Hooker or Albert Collins or B.B. King or any of these southern black blues artists that I got to meet, they would all treat you like a friend. The first thing they would do is let you sit down and listen, and they would tell stories, because the essence of the blues is story.
It seems that, just like his career in Hollywood, he's hitting all the right notes.
And we're going to ask for a little bit of audience participation now. Jermaine, could you tell them what to do with their feet and with their hands?
And that's it. That's just a movie making. Any great director, the first thing they have to learn is how to tell a story. And that's the first thing a blues man have to do, is tell a story. And then I could play the blues.
There's a saying which goes something like, "To those whom much is given, much is expected." Steven Seagal clearly takes that to heart. After the break, giving back.
I wanted to try to help children, particularly who are suffering.
Don't forget to watch the premiere of True Justice right here on Reels next Friday night at 9 p.m. Eastern and 9 p.m. Pacific. Welcome back to this look at True Justice star and creator Steven Seagal. Perhaps it's rooted in his practice of Asian philosophies or a product of his good fortune. In any case, it's apparent that after spending some time with Steven Seagal, he's a man who believes you must pay it forward.
I can tell music is your heart, and it just lights you up. And another thing that I was floored about, just because of the preconceived notions of what a movie star is your amazing heart for philanthropy, for children. How did you get involved with that?
I'm not special. There ain't nothing special about me. I'm just a simple country boy who loves people, and I love children, and I love to be able to serve God by helping people who are suffering. And since I was a young boy, I've always wanted to be able to help children who are suffering and protect them.
And if home is where the heart is, for the past 2 decades, his heart is in Memphis, Tennessee.
I know you're working with St. Jude's now. Why is that so?
Well, not now. I've been working with St. Jude's for 25 years. St. Jude's Hospital in Memphis is maybe doing the best cancer work for children in the world. They're having an 80% cure rate. Curing and putting into remission, they're doing amazing work.
Whether it's the result of his success or perhaps it's his Buddhist background, Seagal lives by a simple philosophy. It's better to give than receive. And that is no Hollywood publicity stunt.
I never thought that if I went to Africa, and I've been to Africa for 20 years, and if I went to wherever I went all over the world to children's hospitals. I never thought it was the place to bring a film crew or a camera and say, oh, Steven Seagal here in Africa, man, look over here. He's in Somalia, and we got a film crew that's gonna be on the news the next day. I never did that. So, you know, I wanted to try to help children, particularly who are suffering. I never brought a film crew, I never brought a camera. I never talked about it. I just did it for the last 25 years. I just did it.
Could it be that the tough guy has a soft spot after all? From where I was sitting, I'd have to say, most definitely. I have to give a very special thank you to Steven Seagal and the entire crew of True Justice for making me feel so welcome while we were on set. And a special thank you to you for joining us. But please, stay with us for the premiere of True Justice next Friday night at 9 p.m. Eastern, 9 p.m. Pacific, only on Reels, TV about movies.
Reels is TV about movies. Go to Reels.com to find Reels in your area.